The Art Beat, a weekly program putting you in touch with artists and arts events from the J.T. and Margaret Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts at Texas Tech University. Hello and welcome to the Art Beat on KLZK 105.7 FM. I'm your host, Peter Martins, and I have the pleasure of talking this week with Kelly Gordon, who is involved with the Goin Band from Raiderland that I'm sure most of our listeners know about. And when I tell you her function, that will tell us a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today. She's involved with the Alumni Association of the Goin Band and is the Centennial chairperson. So good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So your role with the Goin Band Alumni Association as Centennial Chair obviously implies that there's something to do with the Centennial going on. So let's start with just talking about that.
Okay. So the Goin Band from Raiderland was started in 1925 with 21 members known as the Matador Band at the time. And obviously, we're coming up on 100 years since that date. The name Matador Band changed to Goin Band due to a neat little happenstance that happened in 1925. Will Rogers, you've seen the statue in the middle of campus, and Amon Carter from TCU, who also owned the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, they had a little friendly bet. And basically, that friendly bet ended with the Matador Band at the time being sent to go and perform at TCU that fall at that football game.
Okay.
And at the time, no collegiate band had ever traveled to an away game. People really got a kick out of it. In fact, it was also the first band to ever be on the radio. WBAP out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area broadcast that halftime and part of that game. Yeah. And so it just really hit a chord with everyone going, well, this is cool. You mean bands can travel and they can go and support and build spirit for the game and the people that are there. And so the band started going to out-of-town games. And eventually the name then was changed to the Goin Band, and then eventually the Goin Band from Raiderland. And then it caught on. Then collegiate bands around the nation started going, oh, this is something we can do. And then it started being built into budgets, and the rest is history.
I was going to say, then music departments and athletic departments have been having budgetary tussles ever since,
exactly.
right?
Yes, completely.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there was a Matador Band, but it was very short-lived as far as the name goes. Very quickly was changed there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. Thank you for that. It was one of my questions of, I kind of should know these stories, but don't really know that level of detail. So
sure.
I can't imagine the logistics of doing that 100 years ago.
Oh, I can't really either. I don't know what that would look like, even though it was only 21 people.
Yes, even imagining vehicles to have whatever, 30-some probably people and equipment going across the state like that. It must have been a kind of a significant quest almost, rather.
Absolutely.
Not just, hey, we're popping over to Fort Worth for a game, right?
Right.
Oh, fascinating. Okay. So, 100 years that the band has been doing this. Has the travel component of the band ebbed and flowed, or have there been changes in kind of the general, amount of travel or the nature of travel over those 100 years?
Traditionally, probably for the last 40 to 50 years, the Goin Band tries to do 2 out-of-town games a year. Okay. And again, it's logistics, it's money, it's students that are in class.
Yep, I know that.
Yeah, and so, a lot of that plays into it. When I was in the band, which was from the years 88 to 91, of course, that's the old Southwest Conference. And we always did TCU. If TCU is an out-of-town game, that one we were going to. And I think that probably has a little bit of tradition to it, since that was the first one from the history, right? But I remember traveling to A&M. I mean, there's nothing like taking a bunch of people from dry air to 100% humidity at Kyle Field with just the masses that are there.
Sure.
We've been to Baylor when it was at the old Floyd Casey Stadium. Always fun to go to DK Royal, there in Austin. Okay. And that atmosphere is always electric. And we had a really good relationship with the UT band. They had a good relationship with us. We had a running joke that when they came to Lubbock, we served them Big Red after halftime. When we went to Austin, they served us Orange Crush. Just fun things like that.
Wow.
It just, those are your people that within state. Things have changed now.
Sure.
With the way conferences have changed in the Big 12. And so a little bit of that has been lost. But I will say that we still go to TCU frequently.
Sure.
Yeah, which is great.
Right. So speaking of, from the original 21, I guess, the numbers when you were in it, the numbers now maybe are pretty comparable, but can you speak to
Sure.
the composition of the band nowadays?
Right. In 88, we were probably at about 385. Today, I talked to Dr. Pagan, who's the director of the Goin Band currently, yesterday, in fact, and he said 450.
450.
So right around that 400 number has been the average, I guess you would say, for probably the last 40 years. Okay. You may have noticed, if you've ever been to a game, that at pregame, this is something that has changed. We can only have, I think it's like 285 on the field now because of all the other things that go on and the way that the horse has to run. And so Goin Band members, some of them do not earn a pregame spot. You'll see several of them sitting in the stands. And that's unfortunate, but it gives you something to work toward.
Right. I have noticed that, and I have become aware that it is somewhat of an honor, right, to get there.
It is.
Neat. So, 100 years, you're the chair of the Centennial Committee and effort. What is being done this particular year to commemorate?
Well, a couple of things. We started this project about 2.5 years ago, and one of the things that we really wanted was to have a firm date early and to have a night game. There's just something about being under the lights.
Yes.
And that's something that our alumni had said over and over and over. Wow, I just wish we could have a night game. Of course, you and I both know in TV time, you don't get to choose.
Right.
And so essentially what athletics said was basically nobody picks up that very first game. You could roll the dice. You could say that that's the one you want, and we'll hope that it'll be a night game. So we did, and we are blessed. We wanted that long weekend. We have something planned for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And the dates of that are?
29th, 30th, and 31st of August.
Okay.
Yes. So we have a real neat event on Friday evening out at Goodline Beer in Wolforth.
Okay.
They've partnered with Evie Mays to put together kind of a fun tailgating atmosphere for us. And they have even created a craft beer called the Goin Beer.
Nice.
And for a $50 ticket, you can get 3 beers of your choice, the commemorative logo 100 years of the Goin Band glass, and a meal from Evie Mays, which is really a bargain in today's society.
Yeah.
And Zit, that's the percussion ensemble here in the Goin Band. They're going to come out and perform, and we have a DJ, and it's just going to kind of be a fun night of camaraderie for anybody that could come into town. Here's the other caveat with all of this. The Goin Band from Raiderland cranks out some of the best band directors in the state of Texas. And so what do band directors do on Friday nights?
They're leading their own bands.
Exactly. And so again, a night game then on a Saturday allowed those folks to get here on that Saturday or late on Friday night. So Friday night's just a fun get together. Saturday we've got a breakfast out in the band lot, and then we will have registration and what we're calling memory booths in the ballroom and out in the kind of the atrium area there of the student union. Yeah, we've got people setting up booths with memorabilia that they've collected and pictures over the years, and people can wander in and through that. Then we'll have rehearsal around 11. The mayor of Lubbock will be here to proclaim it Goin Band Day.
Nice.
He'll read his proclamation. The governor has sent me a letter to read as well, and Congressman Arrington, same kind of thing. Just letting people know what a big deal this is of 100 years. Then we'll rehearse. We'll have time with the Goin Band. And then we will have our tailgate lunch in the band lot, an afternoon then of more looking at the silent auction items, which all the money raised goes into the endowment scholarship fund.
Great.
Walking down memory lane, we'll have videos playing, old band shows. The Southwest Collection will be open from 2 to 4 for anyone who'd like to go and look at all of the old memorabilia that the Southwest Collection has done a fantastic job of collecting and cataloging.
Great. And that's an arm of the library on campus, right?
Yes.
Right next to the
right next
music
to
building
it.
and the sub. Yeah.
And then that night's the game, and then Sunday will be a celebration brunch over on the west side of the stadium with the Tech Club, and we're really looking forward to that. With a culminating at noon, we'll have a picture on the field of the entire group, and the masked rider is supposed to be there as well.
Neat.
So we've got some commemorative things that we have created. Our merchandise lady is amazing. She's a graphic artist by trade, and so she has created some really neat things, and she kind of commissioned that logo from another artist that she knew.
Okay.
The logo has been very popular. It's the one that the current Goin Band's going to use, not just the Goin Band Association.
Oh, good. Okay.
Full of the alumni. So we've got that on a lot of different merchandise. And again, every dollar from that merchandise goes toward the scholarship fund and to our endowment. And in fact, we have a campaign right now, a Forward March campaign. We're trying to get to $1 million in the endowment.
Wonderful.
So, this organization is only about 38 years old.
Okay.
It was formed in 1987 to support the band, and it started literally with absolutely nothing. They didn't even have $1,000.
Sure.
And so to see it as it's grown and what we've been able to do, and especially, I guess, the momentum that the Centennial has given to the Goin Band Association, it's just been so much fun to watch and what we've been able to create and the people that we've got coming back. We know we have right at 1,000 alumni that are going to march.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Add that to the 450 current Goin Band, and you're going to see a halftime end zone to end zone with basically 1,500 band members.
Not a lot of room for drill on that show, I'm guessing.
No. We're going to be doing a lot of mark time, and you might move 2 inches one way and 2 inches another, which may be good for some people if they're really out of shape.
If you have alums from as long ago as the band has been around, it may be right. What a great accounting of things that are going to happen that weekend. This is the last full weekend of August.
It is.
Sounds like a really wonderful set of experiences there for all those folks. And the Alumni Association is probably, thousands strong at this point as far as official membership.
We are right around 2,000. Clearly, we would like to have more.
Sure.
There was a break in records a couple of years ago, and some transition time between the former board and who's on the current board. And so there were some things that were lost, and it was like basically some digital records that we're not sure exactly what happened. So we're rebuilding that base, and we've changed membership levels in an effort to put more money towards the endowment. And so really now it's just advertising that this is still the same band you fell in love with. They still wear the traditional uniform that's iconic. Everybody knows the gaucho hat. In fact, our brunch on Sunday will be called the Spats and Gaucho Brunch. Spats are what you wear over your shoes and have the double T on them for the band, and then the gaucho hat. People just know that when they see it. And it's, and the other thing that's neat is it is composed of majors from all over campus. It's not just music majors.
Thank you for bringing that up. I wanted to circle back to that. Yes, that I think about 50, maybe even 60% of the membership these days are outside of the arts majors. So
and so that's really neat. It really is kind of a cross section of Texas Tech campus life, and just a really neat demographic to see all the different kinds of people that come together to make the Goin Band what it is. And honestly, it's just great to continue to see the tradition preserved. And I think people really caught on to that during Texas Tech's 100th, and then the Goin Band performing in the Macy's parade.
Yes.
That just authentically generated all kinds of excitement for the Goin Band and for the university, and ultimately for what we're trying to do at the end of August.
Yes, and it's a great, in the biggest picture, a great example of the importance of art in society.
Absolutely.
As people go off and do whatever career they do, that this is something that they hold very dear and special and want to commemorate and come back and do again in some fashion. Right.
Yeah, that's our goal, and providing scholarships for these kids. A lot of people don't know that you have to pay to take the band class. So, and you get credit hours.
Sure.
Those A's looked really good on my transcript. Not going to lie.
Sure.
I love that. But so we try to provide scholarships for as many kids as need them, request them, apply for them, just to defray some of that. Ideally, we would love to be able to pay as an organization for those kids to take that class, but I think that's a long way down the road before we could accomplish that.
But $1 million is a good start. Right?
It is a great start.
Yes. Well, gosh, I'm sorry to have to leave the conversation. It's been a real pleasure to talk with Kelly Gordon here, who's a leading member of the Goin Band Alumni Association, the chair of the Centennial Committee, and also membership chair, I think.
I am
right?
the
So
membership chair.
If you want to join this
Yes.
organization,
Please
you can
reach
look her
out.
up.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for talking today, and we'll see you next week on The Art Beat.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. The Art Beat, a weekly program putting you in touch with artists and arts events from the J.T. and Margaret Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts at Texas Tech University.